Hey folks, joining Little Survival. So today we're talking about the two tarp system again, and here today I'm going to build a simple A-frame shelter with a tarp in the winter woods. And I want to share with you guys two critical tips that I don't see other people talking about. Stick around. Alright, so as always guys, have your bowline knot one end, cordage are wrapped up. I like to have my A-frame height roughly waist high. Granted, it's deep snow right here, so it might sink down, might not. We'll find out. Either way, waist high is how I'm going to go. If you have pine trees like this, it's a good idea to have your ridgeline as much as possible above the branches offered, because it'll help keep the ridgeline from sliding down the tree if that's a worry. Just let me slide these prusik knots back a bit. Now, when I pull this, and this is the other side of the tree, this should bite in and keep it nice and tight. So, there's that. Now we're going to go the other way, and we're going to go on the same side of the tree here. Alright guys, so now we're at our second tree over here, across from our first, right? Have our ridge line right here, going about the same height, kind of eyeballing it, whatever. So about waist height for me. Granted, I'm standing in deep snow, but either way. Go around the tree, take the tail end, pull taut, and I don't have enough cordage on my tail end here to complete a trucker's hitch. What do? Just give up? No. What we're going to do is obviously the correct thing to do in this situation. Do the best we can with what we got. Because you might not have extra cordage. You might not want to give up your bootlaces in deep snow to extend this for your ridge line, which you can. If you have extra cordage, you can always take that. Fisherman's knot, figure 8 knot, whatever, extend this out, do the trucker's hitch, all that fun stuff. Now, what I do personally is just take the tail end, I go under, okay, over the ridge line itself, pull this taut, okay, you guys can see that a little bit. Then I take this tail end, I go back a bit, and you pinch that against the tree, okay, take the tail end, go back over, like so, and go through the loop I just made, and gives you kind of a lark's head knot-ish type thing. Now, is that the best knot to use? Absolutely not. But is that what I can do in this situation with my limited cordage? Absolutely. Is it going to give you a night or two rest? Sure. And quite frankly, hope you guys can hear that, it's taut. And that's the key with tarp shelters. You got to keep it taut, that way you don't have a bunch of condensation. Say it's warm months out, build up, or condensation in the wintertime if it gets really warm in your shelter because your body heat or a fire, it doesn't rain on you in the morning. So, keep that in mind guys, do what you can with what you got, and I'll kind of film this so it's a little closer and throw it over here so you guys can see what I did there more clear. So, stick around. Okay, so now what I want to do from here guys is pretty much flatten out this snow, that way it's nice and compressed down, get our pine boughs for our bedding, put our thermal tarp on the bottom, or the one with the mylar on top of it. We're going to use the wet weather tarp as the actual main roof. So, simply, just trotting down around here, like so, give you a nice footprint. I'm estimating how tall I am, but not a tall guy. Like so. You always scoop out excess snow, block off the doorway, whatever ways the wind's blowing the hardest, but make a bed that way. So now we're into pine boughs. Alright guys, so pro tip here, honestly, if you have a grove of pine trees, coniferous trees, what do you want to say, near your campsite, don't sit there and go walking back and forth. Waste time, waste energy, waste hydration. It just sucks all around. Go there, cut down a tree you can manage, right? And then you can cut all this stuff right here by where your shelter's being built at. So, the way I look at it is this. Minimal, this is firewood I'm going to use tonight. Maximal, this is going to be the ridge pole, some rib poles, whatever it's going to be, for my actual brush shelter if I was building one. Or I can reinforce my tarp shelter with this stuff as well. So, just got to keep that in mind. So, cut this all down. Easy peasy. Always keep your work in front of your legs or extremities. Take your time. Get all the stuff off. Okay. Clean pull. Next. So what I'm going to do is get that other pine tree here, lay this down, compress it, see if it's at, what is it now? You're right, 6 to 8 inches compressed material underneath you. Now granted, it doesn't have to be live pine boughs, it could be dead pine branches underneath this stuff, and then pine boughs on top of that as well. But either way, you want 6 to 8 inches compressed, or more, depends on your comfort level. So either way guys, we'll get back to this. Alright folks, so another pro tip here. When you're setting down your bedding, I know a lot of people just kind of throw this stuff on here willy-nilly and whatnot, and you'll have branches that land perfect, some like this, others, whatever, crisscross. That's in general okay, but what I find better, or what I found over the years making brush shelters, take your time, take the branches, lay them down how they are naturally in the tree, take the trunk end, have it towards the ground, because if you have it like this, sticking up, or this way, and see my entrance to my A-frame is right here because I'm going to block off the other end because I have that southwesterly wind. What's going to happen is I crawl in here, it's going to snag my clothing, it's going to move my bedding around, get me all stuck and frustrated, not fun. So, just simply take that, take your time, put that down. Now, obviously, I'm going to have a tarp on top of this, but again, I don't want these up because it's going to puncture my tarp, ruining a piece of gear. It could poke me, give me an injury, possibly my eye, whatever, if I'm laying down. And it's just going to be, in general, uncomfortable. So take your time, lay them down nice and flat, nice and comfortable. It's going to be fine. And there we have it, folks. A nice pine bough bed, ready to be laid on. And now we're going to put our tarp over it, giving this an A-frame. Okay, obviously I saved you guys the fun aspect and watch me stake this out and whatnot. I did fail to mention, guys, when you have your ridgeline out, make sure your prusik knots are on either end. I had this one over here. I forgot to put that one over there, but either way, that way these can go through this grommet hole here with a toggle, pull that taunt, makes this a way better roof at shedding precipitation. So, obviously going to build up snow here. Other end's open as well. You can just block it off with equipment or snow or pine boughs, whatever you want to use. Do that to block off the wind if you want to. Now, also I just have to say, I gotta pull out more taunt, or I have some more shock cord that you can sit there and put another stake in, have that more secure. Either way, premise the A-frame shelter, guys. That's what it is. So now we're gonna crawl inside. Alright, so to my point about the pine branches, guys, the pine boughs, is look, I'm crawling towards you. I'm not snagging on anything. Nothing's catching on my clothing. Granted, if I do that, but on that, it's not too bad. That's why I mentioned putting the branches a certain way while you crawl in and out of your shelter, because watch, you can crawl out, nothing's sticking to me. So that's really great. Now, the final touch here, putting down our sleep system, because remember, if you can help it in a survival situation, you want something to sleep in, under, and on. Now the tarp that we have here is the wet weather tarp from the United States Marine Corps. It's military surplus. This is the Arcturus survival blanket, tarp, whatever you want to call it thing, but it has Mylar inside of it. So that means I can lay on top of Mylar, and Mylar on top of me. It's going to reflect my body heat, sort of battling convection, conduction, regulating out thermal. Now granted, your clothing should also be adequate for your environment and the time of season as well. So there's that whole situation there. The bedding itself, 6 to 8 inches compressed or more, depending on your comfort level and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not even feeling the cold from the snow underneath me. So keep that in mind. I'd also like to point out too, like I said in my snow trench shelter, want something that's water resistant, if not waterproof, underneath you, because your body heat will melt the snow eventually, and it can get you soaked that way. Not a good thing. Very deadly in an actual survival situation. So this shelter, easy peasy to build, especially with the two tarp system that I have and I carry. I've been carrying for a number of years now. But again, you know, lightweight, easy to throw up. It's not like a brush shelter. It's going to take you hours to do. This took me probably reality maybe 10, 15-ish minutes, depending how far away the trees are and whatnot. But I only used 2 trees to create my bedding. So that's pretty nice. You already have firewood there. Obviously, there's coniferous trees everywhere have fire material. Now, fire for the shelter, what I'd recommend, if it's really cold out, like dead of winter, have a fire in front of you where the tripod is, so So kind of like a big step away, so you're not melting your tarp or anything like that. I have a fire at the end of the shelter here now, just I'm gonna say that's the end. And have a big tall stick on both fires. That way the smoke will travel up the stick and not go in your shelter, allegedly. You gotta kind of toy with that, kind of figure out how that works out. But that's what I started doing, and it actually reduces the smoke quite a bit, like I wanna say 75 to 90%. So that's not too bad. And as I said before, outside the shelter, guys, you can always block off one of these two ways with snow and other debris from the forest, maybe some equipment and whatnot. It's just an all-around great shelter. Now, this might be too tall for some of the people, but, you know, again, we can always take these sides, lower all this down, and actually have a tarp floor, and then the pine boughs, and then the tarp on top of that as well, if we're really concerned about precipitation or moisture from the ground. So, anyways, guys, easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. Love this shelter, guys. I love making these videos for you guys. It's really fun for me. Hope it's fun for you guys. Consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below, guys, because it helps my channel grow. Really awesome of you guys if you did that. And as always, stay frosty, prep up. God bless.